He barely spoke English, got rejected by every tech company he applied to. And yet, this unknown immigrant built a $100 billion company from his living room. How did a man from rural China become the face of Zoom, the app that changed the world overnight? This is the story of Eric Yuan, a quiet, determined man who went from being denied a US visa 8 times to becoming one of the richest self-made billionaires in the world. It's a story about rejection, resilience, and an unexpected tech empire built just in time for the biggest crisis of the 21st century. But this isn't just a story about Zoom. It's about betting everything on a dream and winning big when no one believed in you. Eric Yuan was born in Shandong, China, in 1970. He wasn't a genius. He wasn't rich. He didn't go to Stanford or Harvard. In fact, his childhood dream was simple: to visit Silicon Valley. In 1994, inspired by Bill Gates and the booming US tech scene, Eric applied for a US visa. But there was a problem. He was a Chinese citizen in a post-Cold War world. He was rejected. Once, twice, 3 times. 8 times in total. Each time he returned home humiliated, but never defeated. Someday, he told himself, they'll let me in. And when they do, I'll build something that matters. Question for you: how many times could you hear no before you gave up? Tell me honestly in the comments. Finally, after 2 years of persistence, in 1997, Eric stepped foot in America. He didn't have much, barely any English, just enough money to rent a tiny apartment and no job. But he had one thing no one could take away: vision. He landed a job at a startup called WebEx, a company working on video conferencing. Back then, nobody cared about video calls. The internet was slow, computers were clunky. But Eric saw the future. He worked 18-hour days, often sleeping in the office. His coworkers joked that he never left the building. When Cisco acquired WebEx for $3.2 billion in 2007, Eric became one of their top engineers. But over time, he saw a problem. WebEx sucked. It was slow, buggy, meetings dropped, audio failed. And when he told Cisco's upper management about it, they shrugged him off. Why fix what's already making money, they said. But Eric knew the future wasn't about business clients. It was about everyday people working from anywhere. So, in 2011, Eric took a risk. He left his cushy 6-figure job at Cisco and started over. He called it Zoom. Fun fact: 40 investors said no. They didn't believe the world needed another video app. He maxed out his savings. He convinced 40 engineers to join him. He promised them, "Give me 1 year. If we fail, I'll help you all find jobs." For months, they worked in silence. No headlines, no attention, just long hours and a shared dream. Finally, in 2013, they launched the first version of Zoom. And it was different. It just worked. Smooth, clean, no bugs, and most importantly, it made people feel close, even from miles apart. Users loved it. Word of mouth exploded. Within a year, Zoom had 1 million users. By 2017, that number hit 30 million. By 2019, Zoom went public, raising $751 million in its IPO. But then came 2020. When the pandemic hit, Zoom went from just another tool to a lifeline. Schools, families, CEOs, governments, everyone turned to Zoom. Overnight, the company's value skyrocketed from $15 billion to over $100 billion. Eric's personal net worth crossed $20 billion. But here's the twist: even at the height of his success, Eric didn't change. He still answered support emails himself. He still read every user complaint. And when security flaws hit Zoom during the pandemic, he personally apologized and fixed it within weeks. Because to him, this wasn't just a product, it was a promise. A promise that even a quiet immigrant, rejected 8 times, could change the way the world connects. Now I want to ask you, if you had a crazy idea no one believed in, would you keep going or play it safe? Let me know what you do. Eric Yuan's journey isn't about luck. It's about showing up every day, even when the door closes in your face. His story reminds us, rejection is not the end, it's just the beginning. If you're brave enough to try again, so if you're sitting on a dream right now, wondering if you're good enough, rich enough, American enough, remember Eric, he didn't wait for permission, he built it anyway. If this story inspired you, hit that like button and subscribe for more real finance stories that prove anything is possible. And now, tell me in the comments, have you ever been rejected for something you truly wanted? Let's talk about it.